It's time for Wisconsin race fans to gather round. Welcome to the Racing RoundUp Show. Thanks for joining us for our 41st consecutive season. We are your destination for news and interviews from NASCAR, the Upper Midwest, and within the Wisconsin racing scene. The Racing RoundUp Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing RoundUp Show, Jim Trado.
Glad to have you along on this Tuesday night. Thanks for being here. Got a lot to cover here on the program. We have more giveaways than I know what to do with. So come on down and join us. We'll tell you what they are here in a little bit. I want to tell you we're so excited to have you here at Pauly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield, for our September 16th show. We have great guests on the program, great giveaways after the show. Along with Bill Hollins in the Groove, our guests tonight include NHRA Top Fuel Dragster pilot of the Rust-Oleum Rocket, TJ Zezzo and his dad, Tony. They're here tonight. Ralph Hibbard brought his dad along. He's with the Greenfield Gallery, and Pat Haney is here. We're talking about Sunday's big Hales Corners Speedway reunion this Sunday in New Berlin at the VFW post, and we'll talk to them about that and all the cool things that Ralph gets to do and collect and sell and all kinds of great things you can get his hands on, and also make sure you have some really cool stuff as well. Next generation Bandolero racer, Gage Kubitz is here as well. Gage is here with his dad. Gage Kubitz is here from Whitewater, so thanks for making the trip, guys. They brought their race car down as well. The car builder, the Blue Flame, the October 23rd, 1970 land speed record holder. That was the day they went 622 miles an hour, the flying mile, 630 miles an hour in the flying kilometer, which is a major, major record that stood for decades. We're talking to the manufacturer, man who built it, and his crew chief, Pete Farnsworth and Kenny McCarthy. They're here tonight with this car. They built this car out of Wisconsin, and they set the land speed world record, so it's really cool to have those guys on the program. When we come back from our first commercial break, we'll have a couple of guys that are going to go racing this weekend. We don't know exactly where yet. We'll pin them down. They've been racing across the country since February in Legends and some mostly Bandolero cars. They are the Johnson brothers. Johnson & Sons Paving has a lot of history when it comes to racing across the state and across the country. In Bandolero specifically, Legends cars, and their older brother Jaden is here as well, celebrating his Slinger Championship. So we're talking to Harley and Lincoln Johnson of Johnson & Sons Paving about all the trophies they brought with them to show off. Looking forward to talking to those guys. Come on down and join the racing crowd because we have TJ signed sleeves, pistons, rods. That rod went 334 miles an hour. Yes, that one is signed by TJ. We have stories to tell. He brought some Rust-Oleum car care products as well. Crew shirts. You got a sweatshirt here as well. Thank you for that for Zizzo Racing. We have Anderson Premium Maple Syrup to give away. We have LD's Barbecue gift certificates from East Troy. We have Johnson & Sons Paving wearables and coffee cups. We've got Hales Corners Reunion. Thank you to Pat Haney. We have some Milwaukee Mile programs, a full set of 1973 and 1979 programs. That's when the Midwest Speedways was running the track at Hales Corners and the Milwaukee Mile. We have a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. Just come on down. You'll win some cool stuff after the show. Your choice of prizes. As you get rolling here, we'll start things off with a commercial with some great sponsors that are supporting our 41st season of the show. When we come back, we're talking to the Johnson brothers. We got a lot to cover, lots of fun. Come on down and join the racing crowd at Pauly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield in West Dallas, and we'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing RoundUp Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing RoundUp. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
It's the granddaddy of short track racing in the Midwest. The 56th running of the Oktoberfest Race Weekend. October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Don't miss the intense competition as drivers throughout the nation converge at La Crosse Speedway for 4 days of great stock car racing. On Thursday, see 6 divisions compete, including super late models, sportsmen, and double features for the La Crosse late model. Friday, 3 divisions will grind it out, including the super late models in the popular Dick Trickle 99. A 99-lap race run in 3 33-lap segments. Then on Saturday, 3 divisions, including the ASA Midwest Tour late model. Then it's the Big 8 late models battling for their season championship. Sunday we'll see the vintage race cars, late models, plus the granddaddy of all Midwest racing events, the Oktoberfest 200. 200 grueling laps of strategy, maneuvers, and hard-charging racing. Witness challengers and champions from across the nation battle side by side in Wisconsin's oldest and most prestigious short track racing event. Save with a multi-day wristband. It's the 56th annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend. October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Visit OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com for details and advance tickets. Be there.
Angler's Bar and Grill and Campground is your destination for relaxation and fun. There's a full-service bar and restaurant with 54 campsites with full hookups, all less than a mile from the beautiful Wolf River. It's where the locals go in Fremont, Wisconsin. It's also home to the Midwest Mower Racing Club. All roads lead to Anglers Bar and Grill and Campground in Fremont, Wisconsin. Visit their Facebook page for live entertainment and lawnmower racing schedules. Anglers Bar and Grill and Campground.
For your next purge or project, go with the pros. Source Services. Champion driver and Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Famer Dan Source founded Source Services in 1988 with one truck, one employee, and a tireless work ethic. Through the dedicated work of Dan and his employees, Source Services LLC is Southeastern Wisconsin's leading waste container rental company. Dropped and picked up by professionals, you can rent a dumpster for up to 60 days. Source Services sorts and recycles to reduce the amount of waste going into landfills. Go with the pros at sourceservices.com.
Jiffy Lube has locations across Wisconsin to serve you. Visit jiffylube.com to locate your store and to find the latest coupons and promotional offers. You're greeted by a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Grab a water or coffee and know you and your vehicle are in good hands. Windshield wipers, new tires, and alignments are a few of the many services offered. Jiffy Lube proudly features Pennzoil. There's a whole lot more than no appointment drive-up oil changes at Jiffy Lube. Welcome to personalized car care. Wisconsin race fans, find your store at jiffylube.com.
The Racing House. From Slinger Speedway to the Nürburgring in Germany, we have professional, state-of-the-art racing simulators that allow you to authentically experience any racetrack in the world in your race car of choice. Our mission here is simple: to bridge the gap between motorsport and accessibility. Book your session online. Visit www.theracinghouse.com. We are open to everybody, whether it's you, friends, family, or colleagues. Come in and race against each other. Welcome to the home of sim racing in Wisconsin, The Racing House.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Jim Trado. This is Polly's Pub and Eatery, our home for, 18 years now on most Tuesday nights. Looking forward to seeing you here tonight. We're back here in 2 weeks for our season finale as well. And next week we're on the road for a Benson Valley Bourbon Road Show. Toe Creek Automotive Night at the Cellar in Oak Creek. Looking forward to seeing you there. If you can make one of our final shows, there's 2 to go. We also want to tell you Polly's is the home year-round for shuttles. Event shuttles, you wouldn't believe. They've got Bonnie Raitt tonight, Brewer game tonight, other stuff going on. Heck, they even go to church festivals with shuttle buses. So by all means, seek out Polly's, make it a hassle-free trip to and from Miller Park, which is now called American Family Field, or anywhere else you want to go. They have a full list of their schedule of what events they're going to and their monthly food specials. Great food here at pollyspubandeatery.com. Hey, if you're looking to buy or sell a home or commercial property, choose the Rapina Group, Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. They're not all realtors are the same. You want to make sure knowledge is what you want to go after. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. Choose Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and sell your house with the Rapina Group. Their website is rapinagroup.com. It's time for the Interstate Batters of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR Report. They're a proud founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a battery for every need at a dealer near you. Christopher Bell joined Johnny Morris of Bass Pro Shops in Victory Lane Saturday night at Bristol, Tennessee. That's his first ever win at Bristol. He raced past race leader Brad Keselowski on a restart, then survived a nudge from Brad K on the final lap. Final corner to complete the Joe Gibbs Racing sweep of the winning of the first 3 races in the NASCAR playoffs in the Cup Series. To put it mildly, track temps did not mesh well with the new, softer right side Goodyear tires. A lot of issues, lots of tire marbles, lots of tires cording, and anxiety over how many laps in a run before issues were among the concerns. Eliminated in the first round of the Cup Series playoffs were Austin Dillon, SVG, Alex Bowman, and Josh Berry. Berry finished last for the 3rd straight race. Not cool for the Wood brothers. I'm sure they're not happy, but Josh said he'd be really disappointed if the speed wasn't there. The car has been fast. Franklin Sam Mayer qualified 2nd in his 5th straight top 5 qualifying effort in the NASCAR Xfinity Series race this season. He finished 3rd in Friday night's Xfinity Series race at Bristol. The winner was Eric Almirola and Joe Gibbs Racing. The team inherited the lead from second place Connor Zilich, who elected to pit on 26 laps to go under caution. Almirola stayed out and beat them all out. The fresh tires came through, but could not catch Almirola for the victory. Carson Quapple finished fourth. Zilich set the fastest lap of the race as he raced his way back to fifth. Ryan Landis Parker Rutzlaw finished 16th on the lead lap, and Slinger resident Josh Blicky was scored 32nd. Thursday night, the trucks were there as well as ARCA. Thursday night's truck race started with Nina resident behind Majeski in the third row. Ty finished fourth in the race and is a good playoff spot above the cut line. They were gauging off, and I was listening to a scanner throughout the day with Joe Shear Jr.'s crew chief. They were gauging off of Lane Riggs on what speed they had when they were missing it for good reason. Riggs set on the pole. He also led the last 98 laps of the race to score a victory at Bristol, his second there. Ben Rhodes and Corey Heim finished second and third ahead of Majeski. ASA Stars point leader Cole Butcher made his Truck Series debut with Stuart Friesen's second truck, the 62 truck. He led once on old tires. If you caught that, it was kind of exciting. Went from first to 13th in 2 laps. But he stayed out, led a lap, got some TV time, finished 23rd. Fellow short track first-timer Trayton Lapsovich. That kid's fast. Former NASCAR Canada champ. He's won an ARCA race this year. He made his Truck Series debut in the Young's Motorsports truck as well, but did not finish the race. Looking ahead, the NASCAR Within Modified Tour, Truck Series, and Cup Series all invade Loudon, New Hampshire this weekend. The 100-lap modified race is Saturday morning at 8:15 Central Time on Flow Racing. The truck race is at 11 a.m. Saturday on FS1. Sunday's Cup race starts at 1 p.m. on USA Network. It was announced yesterday that the NASCAR Cup Series banquet will be held in Scottsdale, Arizona, 2 days after the NASCAR finale at Phoenix Raceway. And the 2026 IndyCar schedule, you hear about this, was released today. The Road America IndyCar race is going to be on Sunday, June 21st. The Milwaukee Mile will once again hold 2 points races, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, August 29 and 30. So that's back on the schedule for a doubleheader. And of note, the series races on Saturday of NASCAR weekend in Phoenix in March. And it ends on September 6th in Laguna Seca, not Nashville on the big track. And Iowa Speedway was dropped from the schedule. That's the information I have right now anyway on the national scene. We now go switching ourselves to local and encourage you to join our TV show this Saturday morning, 11:30 on CW18 Milwaukee. It's called The Racing Roundup Show. Here we go as part of our show that we hope to use on that program. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. I'm happily joined by 2 young racers that have raced across the country. They're in Wisconsin, Wisconsin proud racers. Let's welcome in Lincoln and Harley Johnson. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Harley's here, Lincoln's there, and more importantly, you guys are sitting still for like 5 minutes. You've been racing a lot this year, Harley. Where y'all been racing?
All across the country.
Started in like February, right?
Yeah.
Florida.
Charlotte. Yeah.
And Lincoln, I see a guitar that's won by one of you at Nashville. That'd be Harley. So it was a series, right? Nashville, was it a weekend, a series of races that you won, or is it a weekend?
It's
a weekend.
A weekend,
okay.
I guess.
All right. Got the most points kind of thing, best finishes? Mm-hmm. That's among the trophies you brought with us. Lincoln, what trophies did you happen to bring along tonight?
The NX State Championship and the Jefferson Speedway State Championship trophies.
So these are among the highest profile drivers in Bandoleros in Wisconsin. Racing for Johnson & Sons Paving, your dad's company, your family business. Your brother Jaden also races. And when I was that last time at Slinger Speedway, you guys were racing, but it looked like Jaden was doing a lot of the work on the car. How long have you guys been involved in racing at Legends, Bandoleros, at Slinger Speedway and other tracks across Wisconsin?
4 years, I think.
Okay. It's a lot to get into. Dad's signaling 5. I got it right. Dad Jason's here as well. Mom Sarah's here. Lincoln, when it comes to racing at these levels, what have you had to learn to adjust and adapt? Because you're racing literally 2-3 times a weekend, or you're traveling thousands of miles to go racing for a big national race. What have you learned?
I've learned a lot of patience.
Okay.
And the more time you spend working on your race car, it teaches you a lot more about it.
And Harley, when it comes to going fast, your brother was fast, your other brother's fast, you're fast. How much work does that take to stay fast?
A lot. I really thank my brother and Lincoln for helping out, and then Rap and Bob Hartwick.
Grandpa's involved too. That's awesome. When it comes to going racing, how big is the trailer to carry 1, 2, 3, or however many cars you guys go racing with? It's a big trailer, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Semi.
A semi. It makes sense, right? Because you're going across the country.
Yeah.
Lincoln, how much do you enjoy racing outside of Wisconsin as much as you race in Wisconsin?
It's really fun, especially when you go against the top competitors.
Top 10 drivers in the country. So the NX program has state points. You're a state champion. Congratulations. There's also regional points. There's also the Great Lakes Northern Series that races at several tracks in Wisconsin. Toma, Golden Sands, Slinger, Dells. Am I forgetting anywhere? I think those may be the main ones. Jefferson, right? So when it comes to racing at different tracks, Harley, how do you adjust? How do you make your mind up on tracks that are different, but you get to race on maybe once or twice or even more than that a year?
Yeah, it's mostly muscle memory.
Okay.
But, yeah, some tracks are harder than others. The bumps change at every other track. And
the cars are fixed suspension. There is no fancy travel. There's no way you can do that. You guys are pretty much racing on the ground. So I imagine you'd like to avoid the bumps if you could.
yeah.
What are some of your favorite tracks to race on, Harley?
Probably Dells and Slinger
Okay.
or Highland Rim.
Highland Rim.
Yeah.
That's like Tennessee somewhere, right?
Yep.
All right. What do you like about that place? I've never been.
It's very smooth, and the outside line runs very fast.
Cool. Lincoln, same question. You've raced across the country. You raced to a state championship. What are the tracks that you really look forward to racing on?
Slinger's a really fun one just because of how fast it is.
Yeah.
And the quarter mile at Charlotte Motor Speedway is really fun because of the bumps and just where it is.
So when you race at Charlotte in, say, the summer shootout, is it on the quarter mile oval?
Yeah.
Nothing on the road course yet, though, right?
No.
Okay. So I have seen at Dells Raceway Park and at Slinger Super Speedway, I've seen both of you guys race. Holy cow, do you have to keep the momentum up? Do you ever get off the gas pedal?
Yeah, a little.
Where? It doesn't look like it.
About center of the corner.
Okay. Is it called the burp of the ass?
Yeah.
All right. How much brake do you use, Harley?
0.
Okay. I love honesty. Great answer. You don't use the car ahead of you. You just know that you can slow down and just burp the gas and go because you need that momentum.
To get off the corner, yeah.
All right. So how many races you guys think have left this year yet? There's a big one coming up in Las Vegas. I know that.
Yeah, I think like 3.
All right. Which makes it like 30, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy how much you guys go racing, which I really enjoy following and watching what you're doing. There's a big race coming up in Las Vegas. It's called the NX Nationals, right?
That's for legend cars.
And are you guys going to that one?
Yes.
Both racing Legends cars?
I am, and our older brother, Jaden.
All right. Okay. And Harley, I understand you have a Legends in your near future. What's that looking like right now in the shop?
Just a body.
Okay.
Just the shell.
So it looks cool.
Yeah.
It's black. Have your number on it yet?
No.
All right. Okay. So we're in the middle of building that one. Okay. Now this is a very serious question for Lincoln. When it comes to racing, and as good as you are in a Bando car, what's it like racing a Legends car after being so good in a Bando? When you picked up a Legends car this year, was it a challenge? Did it come easy? That's definitely a transition you've had to make.
It was a big challenge because the clutch engages on the Legend car right away, and it's all about throttle control and how smooth you are with it. And you have to use a lot more brake. Where in a Bando, it's just hold the throttle wide open.
Gotcha. When it comes to support, who all came tonight to support you at the show?
I got my mom, my brother, my dad, Joe, Tabby, and his fiance.
And who's on the crew to help you, Hayden? Harley, sorry.
Bob Hartwig, Landon Rapp, Dad, and Jaden.
Yeah. And that guy. You already thanked Lincoln. You already said his name. We're good with that. We ought to get that out of the way. Where do you guys think you're racing next? Do you have choices? Do you know where you're going?
Well, we're still debating, and weather might depend. But there's a Jefferson 2-day show.
That's this weekend. Yep.
We might go race in Virginia, a road course for our first time.
So when will you know? Thursday when Dad says pack up today, or pack up Friday? What's the signal?
I don't really know.
Get on and get, boys. The hauler's packed. Let's go. That's got to be kind of fun too.
Yeah.
Where can we follow along what you guys get to do in racing? I know the NX has got a national platform, but we want to know where you guys are racing. How can we keep track of you guys on the racetrack? Social media?
Yeah, Johnson's Racing on Facebook. I don't know the Instagram one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any idea, Lincoln, on the Instagram one?
Probably Johnson and Sons Racing.
Johnson and Sons Racing. That sounds good. Yep, we got it. We got some nodding of the heads. Your brother's also nodding his head like, yep, you got it right. Any sponsors we want to thank and recognize?
Yes, Jones Dairy Farm, State Contractors, Johnson's Paving, and yeah.
Did we forget anybody, Lincoln? All right. Really good to have you guys on the show. Thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing the trophies. Thanks for sharing the love. And these guys are two of the best when it comes to bandola racing in the state of Wisconsin. They continue to perform. We wish them well when it comes to racing across the country. And you get to see them on short tracks across Wisconsin. You see them on our program as well on Bill Holland's In the Groove segment and more. How about a big hand for the Johnson brothers, Harley and Lincoln Johnson, guys. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. We thank them for being on the program. We'll be right back with more on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Johnson & Sons Paving is an asphalt and concrete paving contractor serving southern Wisconsin and proudly sponsors our weekly Bill Holland In the Groove segment. Trust the team of experts offering a full range of asphalt and concrete construction services for customers from Dane County to Fond du Lac and from Sheboygan to Kenosha County. Johnson & Sons Paving is proud to meet or beat their clients' timeline while exceeding expectations. Homeowners and business owners alike depend on the racers at Johnson & Sons Paving to stay on budget and to get in and out quickly while keeping their property safe and accessible at all times. For all of your asphalt and concrete needs, get started by going online to johnsonsonspaving.com.
Adams Towing offers expert heavy-duty towing services for the entire state of Wisconsin from their Plover headquarters. Since 1961, 3 generations of heavy-duty towing specialists and racing supporters have provided towing, flatbed, and reload service, plus winching and upright, long boom service, truck starting, and cleanup. Adams Towing proudly sponsors Ryan Farrell's Super Late Model team. Put Adams Towing and their experienced team and their fleet of heavy-duty tow trucks and rollbacks to work for you. Call Adams Towing today at 715-344-3836.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack-leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much. American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
Precise Auto and Truck Accessories is your one-stop shop when it comes to adding style and functionality to your vehicles. Owner and late model racer Mike Grunberg has 15 years of experience installing window tinting, cat skin leather, seat heaters and seat coolers. There's a million accessories available. Ladder racks, trailer hitches, detailing, remote starters, and more. Precise Auto and Truck Accessories in Wisconsin Dells is a WeatherTech Diamond dealer. Bring your vehicle to the trusted guy, Mike Grunberg at Precise Auto and Truck Accessories.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
We're excited to have you along on this program. You can still have time to join us. You want to come on down. We got some really cool prizes, some great giveaways after the show. Some really interesting people we don't normally have at the show. We're full up. We're looking forward to seeing you here. There's a lot of people coming and going for the shuttles, but man, you want to talk racing. This is the place tonight at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. This portion of our show is brought to you by the Midwest Truck Series, which is supported by Widener Automotive and Pathfinder Chassis. Next up for the truckers is this Friday and Saturday. They're racing both nights at Jefferson Speedway during the Wisconsin State Championships. For all the latest news and series info, stay tuned to our show or visit Midwest Truck Series website. It's MidwestTruckSeries.com. It's time to remind you to set your DVRs or watch Milwaukee's only motorsports TV show. The Racing Roundup show is on Saturdays on CW 18 in Milwaukee. You can watch it online around the world, online at CW18Milwaukee.com as it airs at 11:30 Central Time on Saturday mornings on the home of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We also have exclusive Bill Holland reporting for the In the Groove segment as well that you only see on our TV show. We are happily joined by our next two guests that are making their annual trek here north of the border. Looking forward to having them on the program once again. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. Let's welcome in the only Top Fuel drivers that I know, dad and son, the Zizzo Racing gang of TJ and Tony Zizzo. Guys, thanks for coming on the show. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you.
Top Fuel cars are the fastest moving things on the planet when it comes to 1,000 feet. We also have the Blue Flame builder here who went 622 miles per hour in the Flying Mile back in 1970. I love the fact we're talking about speed in a straight line right now, man. It's got to be cool knowing that we're a part of, I didn't realize this, but Pete Farnsworth is from Landon, Wisconsin. You guys from just over the border in Illinois. Well, I didn't realize how much fast speed was built right here.
It's incredible. You know, I think of 600 miles an hour plus, and I take a deep breath, Jim, because that sounds exhilarating.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds unbelievable, and they did it in an era in which the men and women who drove those vehicles were crazy. I mean, absolutely insane, and they also made our sport safer, which I love every day. When I climb into our modern Top Fuel car, I am glad there were many men and women who paved the way for younger people like me to be safer, because that looks insane.
Search and find speed. That's what this sport is built on. That's what the sport certainly is for you guys. At this year's U.S. Nationals, 332 and change is no small feat in 1,000 feet. You guys put it on. Qualified third of the U.S. Nationals. My goodness. So you can talk all about how to find that speed when it comes to straight line racing. Congrats, man.
You mentioned the speed in our area, right?
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, I remember going to Union Grove, Wisconsin with my dad.
Yeah.
Right? Seeing him go over 200 miles an hour back then. And there's always been speed in the Chicagoland and Milwaukee area. It's incredible the pedigree that comes out of this area. It really is.
And Tony, when it comes to drag racing, it's a big deal to break certain barriers. 200 miles per hour had to be a big deal. But in terms of how crazy you guys got, pouring that much nitro down these tubes called large cylinders like this to get the 317 and change, that's a little bit of a sleeve. There's a lot of fuel dumping there.
There's a lot of fuel dumping in that cylinder, and there's 8 of them.
Yeah, right.
I just want to get back to that Blue Flame car.
Yeah.
I drove a Bonneville soft flat car to 300 miles an hour. I don't know how those guys did it to 600 miles an hour. And that's at Bonneville soft flat a couple of years ago I did that.
300
miles an hour on salt.
Yeah.
In 5 miles, yeah.
Wow.
But the Top Fuel part of it, the Top Fuel part, comparing this, is the speeds that we go to is in 1,000 feet. So in 1,000 feet, we're going over 335 miles an hour.
Right.
Every time. Even when he blew it up the second round of qualifying, it blew up and still ran 330 miles an hour.
Don't you guys love that he says, I blew it up? That's the best. Like, my dad's like, yeah, you, kid, you're the one who blew it up. Well, 50 years later, I'm still blowing up his stuff.
I gave him a perfectly good race car to drive, and what did he do? He blew it up.
Sounds like a typical father-son discussion here right now.
I love it.
When it comes to that, though, you guys are literally trying to find the very limit, and you were on that limit.
Oh, yeah.
That Ashley Forrest gal went 343 and change this year. How do you get that fast? Holy cow, in 1,000 feet.
Well, I know how they did it. It's all in the camshaft that they run.
All right.
We're on the edge. They're over the edge. Okay, that's the difference between Force's cars and our cars. We want to get over the edge, but we can't afford to do what they can do. So we go fast enough. But here's the thing. Out of every fast car in the country at the U.S. National, we were number 3 qualifier. First car off the trailer. Haven't run for 4 months, It was number one qualifier right off the trailer, and I turned around and every crew chief in the world was behind me asking me how I did that. How do you do that? You guys haven't run for 4 months. You're making us look bad. And these guys get paid a lot of money to tune those cars.
There's pride in making them look bad, and you guys take great pride in it. But it's about not only just the engine, but getting that horsepower, getting that clutch setting correct to get it to the rear wheels. That's got to be an art.
We probably have one of the best clutch guys, Tony Smith, on our team. He's been with me since I ran the alcohol cars, okay? And he has more experience in clutches than most of these people at the drag strip do. He gets us down the track every single time. Without the clutch guy, you're not going nowhere. We all have the same horsepower, same parts, same blocks, but the clutch guy makes it work.
Drag racing on a national level is no small feat, and when you guys get to do that and get to qualify well and race against Tony Stewart and those kind of guys, and the best of the best, I mentioned Tony's name because you went head-to-head with him this year. When it gets to the point where you know you have something for him, it takes a lot of work to get there, doesn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic, though. I mean, like my dad said, the sense of pride that our team has when we go to the racetrack to know that we could run with the best of them. You mentioned Brittany Force running 343 miles an hour. That was right in front of us. But the best thing is, as I'm strapped in that car, right behind her, seeing her do that, I'm like, our car has that potential to do that, which is incredible for a bunch of part-time guys and girls who get together to try to run against the best in the world. I mean, that's incredible. We don't do this on a daily basis. My dad always jokes. He's like, you know, I say, Dad, we got a week until we leave for St. Louis. He goes, no, we have 1 day, and half of that we're going to spend eating. You know, I mean, it's incredible.
When it comes to your schedule, it's not every race, which I imagine it makes you in a position where you are fully prepared when you go racing. You know your schedule. You go where your sponsor, Rust-Oleum, wants you to go. But it still takes an awful lot of ingenuity that happens every week when these guys and gals are out there. How do you stay up to it?
We spend, and I'm not exaggerating, our team of 20 people who show up at our shop. They're working at our shop right now as we speak. We spend collectively 2,000 hours per event working on our car, getting it prepared to be the best it can be.
To go 3.69 seconds.
Yes.
Okay, all those hours just to go 3 seconds in 1,000 feet. If you tell somebody that, they would tell you you're nuts. And we are, basically.
And you're a family of auto body repairmen and women in Illinois doing this out of your shop. You push out the customer's car to go fix the top fuel car. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. We have a shop that's supposed to be a body shop. Guess what? It's mostly a race car shop right now. Until we have St. Louis race coming up in a week.
Yep.
And after that, we're going to kind of park it for a little while unless somebody wants to pay me to go out west. That's another problem.
Yeah, well, there's a Fort in Charlotte this weekend, then St. Louis in 2 weeks, Texas Motor Plus, Vegas, and Pomona end the season. But that means you guys are ready and primed and be going to be a contender again at St. Louis in 2 weeks.
We're ready for St. Louis, that's for sure.
All right.
The block that he blew up, we're getting it back Friday so we can put the fourth motor together.
Great information. ZizzoRacing.com is their website. You can also follow them on NHRA, all sorts of social platforms. How do a big hand for Tony and TJ Zizzo joining us on the Racing Roundup Show. All right, that was it for TV. Hang on, put those things back on. Put them back on, Tony. We got more to talk about.
You're still talking to me?
I am. Yes, you talking to me? Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay, if you'd like to, go ahead.
I do. When you pull that number one qualifying run, validation.
Yeah.
Respect is always going to be there. But when you guys qualify then third at Indy, overall, I mean, this is after 4 runs. Now, was it 5 qualifying runs?
5 runs at Indy, yeah.
To do that, you guys are toe-to-toe with the heavyweights. The Titans are racing against you. You're not racing against them. They're racing against you to beat you.
Like I said, when he ran that first qualifying session, I turned around. Every crew chief in the country was standing behind me, asking me how we did that. My response to them is, just because we're not at the races, that doesn't mean we're not doing our homework.
Right.
That's how it works.
So do you go to more races? Do you have your own way to train between races because you're not at the track every weekend?
Yeah, my dad to beat me up, right? Say, hey, why don't you leave on time? I don't, but I try my best to be as fit as I can be.
Yeah.
I'm 50 years old, for God's sake. It gets harder and harder every year because I'm competing against 20-somethings and 30-somethings and teenagers, for God's sake. It becomes more challenging as you get older, but I keep at it. I mean, I've always said knowledge is power, and the older you get, the more knowledge you have, the more experience you have. So, yeah, sure, the guy I'm going to compete against, guy we're going to compete against, might leave on me a touch, right? And I'm going to expect that. Our entire team expects it. But I'll be with them, and then we'll see where it goes from there, because then as a driver, you have the finesse and power sometimes to make appropriate decisions going down the racetrack in that 3.6 seconds that could actually make some ground up. So there's a lot that goes on in that short 3.6 seconds, but I'm there for it. You know, I show up for it. I show up to do the best darn job I can, because I can guarantee you my dad would be the first person to fire me if I did something incorrectly.
Well, I know for a fact that he could drive better than I can. So
Okay.
that's why we put him behind the wheel, and he's younger than I am.
Good admission.
He can react a lot faster than I could. But we both keep an NHRA Top Fuel license together,
All right.
okay? But he is the driver. I'm just a spectator.
So when it comes to St. Louis, that's in the region of your sponsor, I'm guessing Rust-Oleum, who now has car care products we can actually give away, thanks to you guys for bringing some. They're expanding their market, but you guys are you guys testing that as well?
Oh, yeah. The beautiful thing about our relationship with Rust-Oleum, it's not just a sponsorship on a race car. That's a very small piece of it. It is all the R&D we do for them in our shop, all the video shoots, all the shows we do, the trade shows, so on and so forth, which really make this work. I mean, the program would not work if we didn't have all those ancillary things we're doing for them. It's the most important thing we could do.
So, Tony, what's left to do? The boys are at the shop, girls are at the shop right now.
Well,
what's left to get things dialed in?
They are dialing things in right now, but I have to go to Indy on Friday to pick up an engine block and drop off 4 pairs of cylinder heads that guess who, destroyed. So that's Friday.
Okay.
Wednesday, tomorrow, I get to go to Strange Engineering and pick up the rear end that we keep breaking. So rear ends are breaking faster than the engines are breaking now. So we have to kind of keep up with everything that we're doing.
But you rebuild between rounds. There's parts you have to inspect that you aren't going to use again.
Oh,
it won't be that weekend, but it's really a lot of work. People don't realize, do they?
Right now, we're inspecting everything. And even when you inspect everything, you still have that little bit of over-the-edge type run.
Yep.
And we have that thing on the edge at all times. When I see that scoreboard light up, I jump up and down for joy.
It's a lot of work to realize in that short period of time. The satisfaction's there. It's great to know you guys are back on our show, and we're so energized by you and the passion you have for this. Thanks for bringing all the stuff as well. We've got a sleeve, we got a rod, we got a piston, we've got some more stuff for you guys. We've got some car care products from Rust-Oleum. Thanks for bringing it big time for our fans to continue to say, I got something signed by TJ Zizzo. It's really cool to have you guys on the show.
We appreciate it, Jim. My dad and I travel all the way up here because we appreciate the effort that is put in here on your show.
How about a big hand for TJ Zizzo and Tony Zizzo, Zizzo Racing. Good luck in St. Louis. NHRA Racing on Fox Sports 1, or maybe it's on Big Fox. I'm not sure which. We'll have to check the listings. But it's in 2 weeks' time. A week and a half from now, basically, is when they're going to be racing down the quarter mile at the Midwest Nationals at Gateway, which is now Worldwide Technology Raceway. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having us.
Really appreciate it. We're going to be right back with more on this edition of the show. We've got Ralph Herbert joining us. We've got a big news announcement about what's happening this Sunday. If you used to go to Hell's Corner Speedway or if you race now in something, we want you to come to this Sunday, September 21st, Hell's Corner Speedway reunion in North Berlin. We'll talk to Pat Haney about that. We'll tell you about, as well as all the cool stuff that Greenfield Gallery has going on. Our guests coming up include Pete Farnsworth and his crew chief Kenny McCarthy on the Blue Flame that went down the Bonneville Salt Flats on October 23rd officially. The final day they could run because the next day it snowed. It was in 1970. This is a record-setting car. We'll talk to the men behind the machine for that as well. And Gage Kubitz is on the show as well. Gage brought his Bandolero out here. We're talking to Gage about how much fun he has racing 19, 20 times this year already across the state of Wisconsin in his Bandolero. Bill Holland on the way as well. Stick around. We're live at Paulie's at Pub and Eatery. If you can't make it to the show, by all means, share the show with your friends. If you can make it to the show, join the racing crowd. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, RacingRoundUpShow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports. Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more.
Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Jiffy Lube has locations across Wisconsin to serve you. Visit jiffylube.com to locate your store and to find the latest coupons and promotional offers. You're greeted by a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Grab a water or coffee and know you and your vehicle are in good hands. Windshield wipers, new tires, and alignments are a few of the many services offered. Jiffy Lube proudly features Pennzoil. There's a whole lot more than no appointment drive-up oil changes at Jiffy Lube. Welcome to personalized car care. Wisconsin race fans, find your store at jiffylube.com.
Organize like the pros with Hefner Racing Products. Take your trailer to the next level. Upgrade your garage, streamline your shop. Whether you're tearing up the track or tackling home projects, Hefner Racing Products has you covered with the best made and widest variety of organizational accessories made right here in Wisconsin. Shop online now at hrpracing.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
Check out our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our program, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
What? Yeah, they're great. Hey, guess what? We're talking. That's what we do. We're bench racing during commercials. Hope you enjoy the commercials brought to our friends. We want to say we've had this show around for a long time because there are great sponsors on the program, including Johnson & Sons Paving, Adams Towing, Badger Kart Club, American Foundation Specialists, and Precise Auto and Truck Accessories. Some of the sponsors that make this show possible. This portion of our show is brought to you by BMR Electric Carts in Random Lake. Icon e-bikes go 25 miles per hour between 25 miles per hour or go 40 miles between charges. BMRE is now selling gas-powered golf carts, e-bikes, and scooters. Your choice of colors, your choice of options, new or used. Brad Miller is your guy. Seek out BMRE Electric Carts Company on Facebook and check out Wisconsin's only Icon gas and electric cart dealer. It's time for the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report for cameras and alarm systems for your home or business. Programmed card access, custom-made security doors, on-call locksmith work, and more. It's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online to bonafidesafe.com. They protect what you value. Congrats to Heartland, Wisconsin's Bill Baylog. Back in Victory Lane in the Anderson Maple Syrup, number 17B. It happened at California's famous Paris Auto Speedway on Saturday night, his third Walla Walla win of the year. His 4-second lead evaporated late in the going, however, as the right rear tire was going soft. He changed his line from the top to the inside groove to hold off a hard-charging David Gravel for the victory. This weekend, Baylog and the Outlaws head to Tulare, California's Thunder Bowl Speedway. Ty Fredrickson became the youngest ever winner in the Hugh Deary Classic in the 60 years of the National Short Track Championships. They were held this past weekend at Dells Raceway Park. Full details on the event captured in Bill Holland's In the Groove coming up a little bit later on the program. Last week's show guest at Utica Bar, Casey Johnson, finished third in the feature behind Ty Fredrickson, but it does now extend his Alive for 5 point lead with one race to go following October 18th. Our DRP coverage is supported by Diamond Wheels, your destination for stock car, road racing, autocross, dirt track, and off-road beadlock wheels, custom chrome finish wheels, and more. Visit DiamondRacingWheels.com. The following races I mentioned, including the Live for 5 finale, also have the Midwest Dash Series and 602 Outlaw late models on the card. Find out more at DellsRacewayPark.com, including camping reservations. This past Saturday night, I was on the call at Track TV for Dawson Sutton's dominant victory at Toledo Speedway in the CorvetteParts.net Glass City 200. The Tennessee teenager dominated the CorvetteParts.net Glass City 200. He won from the pole to lead a bunch of laps, more laps than anybody else. Point leader Cole Butcher had a rough go, but he still finished second. Crossed the line second, and 15-year-old Max Reeves, who won the Madison ARCA race, if you recall, in August, made his first start in the series and finished third at Toledo Speedway before he goes back there for the ARCA race in October. Ty Majeski was involved in a couple of incidents, both in tight quarters, racing with Bubba Pollard, then Reeves. Majeski finished fifth, his first top 10 at Toledo Speedway in 4 Super Late Model races. The Big Fall Classic at Wilmot Raceway was this past Friday and Saturday night, and they were action-packed. Last week's show guest, Nick Mechanic, raced the third in the street stock feature Friday night, behind winner Mark Baker. Point champion Steve Mueller won the A-Mod main over Joel Crowbridge. Logan Julian set fast time and won his third IRA Outlaws Sprints feature in recent weeks with a late race pass on point leader Blake Nimming, then fended off the challenge of two-time series champ Scotty Neitzel in the closing laps. It was Mike Coons over Derek Crane in the Bandits feature. Brian Christan won Friday night's Wayne DeCrate A main. CK Contractors LLC supports our coverage of Wilmot Raceway and the Wisconsin Wingless Sprints Series for lot clearing of brush debris, lock grading, Lake Michigan shore restoration, pond building, and more. Hire the professionals, Chris Klemko, and the races you trust at ckcontractorsllc.com. Saturday night at Wilmot, another big night. The second night of Fall Classic ended with fireworks. On the track, Tommy Sexton won the 604 Win Crate Sprints feature, Ben Schmidt in the 360 Sprints, Derek Crane over Mike Kruns in the Bandits, Adam Abbey from Marion, Wisconsin in the A-Modifieds, track champion Brandon Murtaz in Street Stocks, Brian Strain Jr. over recent show guest Colin Sivia in the Lightning Sprints, and Rusty Egan over John Fall is how they finished in the Wisconsin Wingless Sprints feature. Travis Aarons won again Saturday night at 141 Speedway in the bumper-to-bumper IRL Sprint Series. If you recall, he bagged 26 grand and was on our show the week after he won the high limit race at 141. Well, he took the infield plunge again this time after winning Saturday night. This time he took Chatty Matty with him into the pond to go for a dip. The IRA Outlaws head to Jackson Motorplex in Minnesota for a two-night show this weekend. We will chat next Tuesday with IRA Sprints President Steve Sinclair on our show on Oak Creek Automotive at the Cellar in Oak Creek. They've got a huge weekend coming up. It's the Wisconsin Sprint Car Championships at the Plymouth Dirt Track on Saturday, September 27th. It features all open wheel cars, all final races in the series, IRA Outlaw Sprints, Wisconsin Wingless Sprints, IRA Lightning Sprints, and MSA 360 Sprints. The Midwest Truck Series is in action this Friday and Saturday night at Jefferson Speedway in the multi-division Wisconsin State Championship races. This Saturday night is the 8th annual Jimmy Wildman Watson Classic Will-Bam Dirt Kings late model race at the Plymouth Dirt Track. That also includes the Wisconsin Wingless Sprints, Modifieds, Street Stocks, and Bandits, and lots of bicycles to be won by the kids. Our Dean Strong will be on the race call this Saturday night's ASA Midwest Tour race at Elko Speedway in Minnesota. Watch it on demand or on Track TV and support the local racetrack. Again, it'll be on Track TV this Saturday. We now have a couple of guys sitting next to me that have got a lot of miles when it comes to chasing racing, following racing, and loving racing for decades. They are true harbors of the sport when it comes to history around the area and around the country. Let's welcome in Ralph Hibbert of the Greenfield Gallery and Pat Haney. Pat, thanks for coming on the show, the unofficial historian officially of Hales Corners Speedway. Good to see you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Ralph, I love the fact that we get some really cool stuff from you on occasion. We get some signed autograph pictures. We get some die cast. We get to show some of how many thousands of model cars and die cast and memorabilia you have. You buy, you sell, you have people approaching you all the time like me with friends collections. There's a lot going on in the world of collectibles for you guys.
Yeah, Jim,
what's it been like lately?
Well, Jim, today's been a very expensive day. One, you had a bundle of Alan Kawicki memorabilia that I purchased from you. And usually there's two reasons why I'm sitting next to Pat Heaney. One, I'm buying racing memorabilia, which I just bought a bunch of racing programs that I didn't know I needed, but I needed. Or I broke my mower and I need to have him trailer it back to his shop. So both are usually kind of expensive. So thanks a lot, Pat.
And Pat, you're going to still let him show up on Sunday, right? This Sunday's a big
Sunday?
day. Yep, this Sunday.
What Sunday?
It's in New Berlin. I think there's a big show you're putting on. It's called the Hales Corners Speedway Reunion.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, Ralph's going to be there with some cool stuff. Any idea what you're bringing yet, Ralph? You have many choices.
You know, it's going to be a game time decision.
Right.
We may go to Indianapolis. My son's birthday is
okay.
the day before. It's still to be determined.
Yeah.
I like doing obviously to show like the Tails Corners, like Wisconsin related
Yeah.
stuff. I have a lot of Matt Kenseth, Alan Kowicki, Dick Trickle, Badger midgets, USAC midgets, stuff like that. You know, I can fill up the back of the Suburban about 20 different ways. So we'll kind of go and see what's up front, what I can grab, and go there. I like racing programs. You know, in the last couple of years, I bought a huge patch collection. Lots of photos, always has photos. And lately I've been doing some trading cards. I have a lot of Alan Kowicki, a lot of Matt Kenseth, Dick Trickle, a lot of Wisconsin drivers. So.
And if you want one of those fancy gold, all gold, satin Alan Kowicki jackets with his autograph embroidered on it with a big 7 on the back, Ralph has one now.
Apparently we have one now,
Ralph
yes.
has one now. I can tell you that for a fact.
Definitely.
A friend of mine said, hey, they were a huge Alan Kowicki fan. You probably get approached every 5 minutes about, hey, what do you think this is worth? Or how can I find value of this? Or is this worth what I'm going to pay for it? How do you value yourself when it comes to keeping track of what it sells for? I mean, you're on the cusp of knowing these things.
Yeah, honestly, the market dictates it, and we usually use it, when you kind of want to look at stuff, you look at eBay's sold items.
Okay.
However, with jackets and some of the one-of stuff, you know, it's hard to determine sometimes the value. You don't see comparables all the time.
Yep.
You know, with the die-cast, you can always usually find, oh, this sold for this sold for that. But, you know, signed memorabilia, different types of Alan Kowicki items.
Or Ty Majeski's Snowball Derby winning die-cast. You can't find anywhere else. You've got several.
Yep,
yeah,
I've had those.
Yep.
And I'm a collector as well. I have 2 doors in my collection, much to the chagrin of my wife. I have a Stormy door at number 25, the Deuce Nickel, and I have a Ty Majeski door in my collection. So.
And I know how proud you were when you received that door. I think I was there when you got it.
Yes, you were. It was that was another expensive night at the Racing Roundup show. So you cost me a lot of money, Jim.
Well, it's glad to have you here spending money with Pat, because you know what? It's going to be fun this Sunday, too. Pat, when it comes to racing, Hell's Corner Speedway was open from 1948 to 2003. You have put together a book that chronicles literally every season. You've had a chance to showcase your photo collection. This Sunday is going to be a lot about getting together with friends you only see maybe once a year or maybe once in a great while, because it's a reunion time for a bunch of folks that love going to that racetrack.
Well, I certainly hope we have a great turnout. Don't believe what you're seeing on the weather. It'll change. It'll be a beautiful day. And, you know, this might be my last one.
Okay.
It's getting very difficult to do. My health isn't what it used to be. But I started going out there in 1958.
What?
1958.
Wow.
Was my first year of watching racing at Hales Corners. Not that I remember a whole lot.
But you raced in every division, literally, that they raced there, probably short of the modifieds.
No, I raced modifieds too. I didn't race
the old modifieds. You're at the new modifieds.
Right. I drove one of John Surgis's modifieds.
That counts. That counts. Okay.
But yeah, we raced a little bit of everything, and you know, my hero back then was Frank Smith, and still to this day, he's my hero.
And Frank's here tonight. He's now counting birthdays backwards. He's down to 76 now. He's going to be 75 next year, right? Yeah, right.
Hey, I just want to say something. Before I was dragged up here, I was talking to Jason Johnson.
Yeah, and Jason, yeah.
And I watched this young man in the number 8 car, thanks to Flow Sports, at Slinger. Kid, you got a hell of a future. Takes a lot to impress me, and you impressed me all year.
Jaden Johnson won Rookie of the Year and the track championship in late models this year. His first year racing full-time in late models. You got the chance to see that?
Smooth as silk.
Yeah. Yeah, and he doesn't wreck stuff.
No,
it's important.
Finish first, you got a first finish, right?
Right. Hey, so this Sunday, I'm looking at a bunch of things that could happen. If I have a race car that didn't race at those corners, can I still bring it?
Any race car is welcome. In fact, I was talking to Brad Miller the other day, and he doesn't want to bring his dirt car, but he might bring the asphalt car.
Okay.
So he was going to talk to Kevin Barker. He says, is that okay? I says, yeah, I got it.
Right.
It's a race car.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I have with talking to some of these guys, they don't understand. They need to promote themselves. They need to let people know where they're racing.
Yep.
And the guy will tell me, well, my car's too beat up. Well, you know what? it better be beat up at this time
this
of year.
time of year, yeah, right.
If it ain't, you didn't race it.
Yeah.
But bring your car out. It's not a judging contest. Meet people. You might pick up a sponsor. You never know. You'll at least let people know where you're racing and how you're doing. And it's all about self-promotion. We've lost that.
Well, we try to do it every Tuesday here on the show, but you're right. There's not a lot of other places. Yeah, you're right. It's this Sunday, September 21st, at the VFW post in New Berlin, 179th and Belait Road. It's 10 to 6. If they have a race car or a street rod, what time should they get there, Pat, to display it?
Race cars need to be there between 8 and 9, so we got a place to park them. Street rods are welcome anytime.
Okay.
We're going to have a DJ there. Dean and Roger Burt are going to be spinning records.
Great.
And we got Lucky's Kitchen, who's bringing a food truck. And Chris Carlson made this year's versions of T-shirts and hoodies. And I'll have tons of memorabilia there, and Ken Forster will have his posters there, and who knows who else will show up.
You brought tonight to give away at our show a binder with the entire set of programs from the 1973 season and the 1979 season of the Milwaukee Mile. That's IndyCar, stock cars, USAC stock cars.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Will things like that be available on Sunday?
Well, actually, I probably cut a deal with Ralph today that he's going to end up with the rest of my stuff. But
nope, not at all.
There will be if you raced a car at Hales Corner Speedway, chances are I have pictures. And the coolest thing about this is a guy will come up and he'll say, I won a bonus seat in 1973. I'll bet you don't have a picture. And he gives me his name, and I open up the 73 binder. And I pull out a picture. I says, "Here you go," and he's just floored.
That's
and
cool.
That was their moment of glory.
Yeah.
And maybe they never got a picture. Maybe they lost it. Maybe it got damaged in a flood.
Or never thought they'd ever see a picture of their race car because they ran it once or twice or 5 times.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So we've got plenty of pictures, thousands of pictures. And yearbooks and all sorts of memorabilia that I'll be bringing. I recently had a little situation at my house where I lost an awful lot of memorabilia, so it's time to start cleaning out, and I'll be liquidating a lot of things that people have never seen.
Okay. Including this Sunday?
This Sunday.
All right. First crack this Sunday to look at it.
So I have to bring more money?
Yeah, you do. Yep. Or have a surrogate, someone else on your behalf.
You put it on my tab?
Sure. Your tab's good with me.
Hey, so when it comes to this kind of event, Ralph, you do these all year round. You buy and sell on Facebook and eBay, right?
Correct.
Greenfield Gallery sales on Facebook. eBay, you're out there as well?
Yes.
When it comes to events like what we'll see on Sunday, what do you find? Is it regionally people are excited? Have you gone to Indianapolis and they just want to see Indy 500 stuff? How do you plan and plot and really learn from doing these events year upon year?
I've done shows roughly about 30 years. Car shows, I do take some muscle car stuff, and in racing, there's still enough crossover. I do several shows at the Indy 500. There's one at the Dallara chassis plant in January, and another one a couple days before the 500. Those are primarily open wheel IndyCar. I use events like this Sunday for buying events, so to do those shows.
Yep.
You can find Indy stuff here a little bit more, and it's a premium over there. I also do well with Milwaukee Mile programs and stuff from the Milwaukee in Indianapolis because here, everybody, thanks to Pat, everybody has Milwaukee Mile programs. So
some, not all.
No,
they might look for one specific.
But
yep.
You kind of do. I don't bring Indy 500 programs to the Indy 500 show because everybody brings them. So you kind of got to think a little bit different. There was a couple other events this year that were very good. Brendan Ostrowski ran an event at the museum, which was really cool, and all he wanted was Wisconsin drivers. So I was able to bring stuff like that.
Yeah, cool.
There was another show that was the 100 Mile an Hour Club. They ran a more road racing, open wheel IndyCar type show. I had enough stuff for that. So this year, due to coaching, I was coaching high school and other events, I didn't do a lot of the flea markets. So I kind of miss, because you never know what you could find there.
Yeah.
You know, according to Dean, you can buy, 8-tracks and tube socks at flea markets.
Yeah.
I heard that over the mic.
Yeah.
When he was at Slinger.
Yeah.
So.
When it comes to this, though, it's got to be a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Still learning new things, finding stuff you haven't seen before.
Sure, and you always have expectations on what you're going to see and what you're going to buy, and something totally out of left field. Like, I would have never thought at the show, 3 years ago, that somebody'd bring me a door. You just don't know stuff like that. So, those are the events where surprises come in. And that's why I've had a couple conflicts the last few years on not being able to do the Hales Corners reunion, but I like doing shows like that because the people there are, real people, real racers, people that raced all the time, people that watch them. And again, I love Hales Corners. I miss it. It was me and my wife's first unofficial date, so 92. So
yeah. When it comes to events like this, they happen once a year. It's this Sunday, September 21st, VFW Post in New Berlin, 179th and Bullite Road. The Hales Corners Speedway Reunion, where anybody can show up and have fun. And I encourage you to do that. And I encourage you also to know that Pat's kind of in the middle of saying, I don't know what this is going to be anymore. I don't plan on me having it every time I show up. It might be the one and only time I have it. And you get your hands on it. We know where Pat's going to be this Sunday. Ralph, where again can we find you on socials? We know where you're physically in McWanago on the historic Heaven City property. Yep. But as far as on getting a hold of you or finding more information about what you're buying and selling, where can we get you?
Facebook, Greenfield Gallery, or I'm on Facebook as well, my personal site, Ralph Hibbert Jr.
Okay.
And then I'm always at events as much as possible. You can always call the store 262-363-5885. I do work during the day. My dad usually get a message. I'll call you back at night.
Yeah.
So always, we're always looking to buy. And the more unique, I like Wisconsin stuff. I like, everybody, program-wise, most people have Milwaukee Mile stuff. Most people went to the Indy 500. I like some of the more obscure stuff, like Kakana programs. I actually went there the first time this year. That was a cool place.
Yeah.
Old Rockford stuff. That's nostalgic. Plover, Marshfield. I'm going to Oktoberfest in it's almost 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
That's a pure racing show.
Oh, yeah.
I like doing those.
Yeah.
And again, finding local programs. And the cool thing on selling online is a lot of people, like just for photo-wise, I've had about 5 different vouchers buy photos of Gary and Jack.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Frank Frieda, I believe his sister bought stuff. When people find stuff like that and find you, you kind of feel like cool. You're kind of preserving history and keeping, like Pat says, when a guy finds a photo of himself like that he didn't think existed, that's always cool. So.
Yeah, aunts or uncles, you want to dig their photos up, and if aunts or uncles want to get rid of their stuff, these are the 2 great destinations or sources of information. But more important, I call you guys the treasures of the area because you really do a lot of great work in supporting what's going on, preserve what's going on, including this Sunday at the Hales Corners Reunion, including every day with Greenfield Gallery on Facebook. How about a big hand for Ralph Hibbert and Pat Haney for joining us on the show. Thanks again for your support as well, Ralph. We look forward to seeing maybe a car show next summer. We'll hang out with the show. And what do you think?
we got to do it next year.
We got to do it again.
Yep.
We did it last summer. We'll do it again next summer on our 42nd season of the show.
Krieger for all he's done in supporting the Hales Corners reunion. I've been a little behind this past month, and he's taken over the reins and kept the word out. So.
Scott Krieger, thank you. Also, thank you to Max Wisniewski for bringing the very own model he built of Jimi Hendrix car that raced at Hales Corners Speedway. He brought 2 of them. Those are not for sale, but Max is a really cool collection. He's like, I got to bring something. It's the Hales Corners reunion talk about night, right? I said, yep. So thank you, Max, for bringing the car down as well. We're back with more on this show. We're talking about 622 miles per hour in the Flying Mile. That happened in October 1970. Built by a man from Landon, Wisconsin. We'll talk to him and his crew chief, Kenny McCarthy. Pete Farnsworth's on the show. We also have Gage Kubitz on the program. He brought his Bandolero car down. Bill Holland's on the way. Lots to come on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show at Paulie's Pub and Eatery. Come on down and join us.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Adams Towing offers expert heavy-duty towing services for the entire state of Wisconsin from their Plover headquarters. Since 1961, 3 generations of heavy-duty towing specialists and racing supporters have provided towing, flatbed, and reload service, plus winching and upright, long boom service, truck starting, and cleanup. Adams Towing proudly sponsors Ryan Farrell's Super Late Model team. Put Adams Towing and their experienced team and their fleet of heavy-duty tow trucks and rollbacks to work for you. Call Adams Towing today at 715-344-3836.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When your foundation is in need of repair, you need 3 things: an honest opinion, quality work, and fair prices. Call American.
Trust and dedication.
You guys here all right?
That's American Foundation.
2 or 3.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For 35 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emission testing, tires, and complete auto, truck, and SUV repair. From oil changes to transmission replacement. 414-761-3250 to schedule your free inspection appointment. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th in Drexel to the experts at Oak Creek Automotive.
Hey there, this is Leon from LD's Barbecue, open Wednesday through Sunday in East Troy. Not only do we serve your favorites every day, but we also provide catering for graduations, weddings, office parties, and more. Stop in and try our award-winning food, sauces, and rubs. Check us out on Facebook for daily specials. LD's Barbecue in East Troy. Remember, we'll smoke your butt.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our program. Hanging out with you at Polly's Pub and Eatery on a Tuesday night. After tonight's show, we have prize giveaways for the audience here at Polly's, including some Milwaukee Mile programs, some 73 and 79. Some engine parts from TJ Zizzo. Thank you, TJ. You also brought some Rust-Oleum car care products, as well as some team gear. I want to thank Johnson & Sons for all the cool merchandise and coffee mugs they brought as well to give away. We have bottles of Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup to give away. We have LD's Barbecue gift cards to give away, the best barbecue in the world in East Troy. We have racing T-shirts, die-cast cars, racing hats, and collectibles from Greenfield Gallery on Facebook, where they're always buying racing collections, as you just found out. This Saturday, catch Milwaukee's only motorsports TV show. Our Racing Roundup TV show at 11:30 a.m. Central Time in Milwaukee airs on CW18 and also on CW18Milwaukee.com online. I want to thank our supporters of that program: LD's Barbecue, The Racing House, Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, American Foundation Specialists, Bonafide Security Solutions, Select Container, Oak Creek Automotive, the Midwest Truck Series, NNS Towing, and Hefner Racing Products, HRP. Great people. Thanks for your support, guys and gals. It's our privilege right now. Thank you to Dougie for getting this all arranged. We're welcoming in the gentleman behind what has been one of the most talked about and infamous race cars when it comes to land speed record holding out of Atlanta, Wisconsin. Let's welcome in Pete Farnsworth, the builder of the Blue Flame, and his crew chief, Kenny McCarthy. Guys, thanks for being on the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing the crew shirts as well. This is it's been a while since you wore them, right, Pete?
Yep. Well, we wear them now and then.
Well, what it was then, it was amazing to know you started out as a drag racer at Great Lakes Dragway.
Yes.
In the mid-'60s. Was it dating back to the 50s?
Yeah, mid-'50s.
Whatever thought did come across your mind saying, I think if I put a jet engine in a dragster, let's make the X1 really fast?
Well, the X1 was a rocket-powered car. It's not,
a rocket.
Not a jet.
Okay. Rocket-powered.
Yep.
How'd you get that to the ground?
Well, in 1963, a friend of mine, Doug Rose, was the driver of one of the jet cars. for Walt Arfons. And he was telling me about the great money they were making. And I was running Top Fuel cars at the time, and I wasn't making any money. You know, it was just constant work. So I decided the next step up beyond the jet cars was rocket. And I started researching it with my brother, who was a rocket engineer for McDonnell Douglas Aircraft.
Wow.
And he had information available to him that the normal person couldn't get to. And I had him researching rocket motors, and we didn't want anything where the fuels were so exotic or dangerous that people that didn't know about the fuels walking around the pits in the drag strip, we didn't want anybody having, you know, smell the wrong fumes and now you're going to be dead. You know?
So what did you decide as your fuel components for making rocket fuel for a drag car?
Well, in '64, a fellow showed up at a drag race where we were doing an exhibition, and he asked me if I remembered him, and I didn't, but then when he talked further, then I remembered that I did know him from several years earlier, and he asked me what I was doing, and I said we're doing an exhibition race, and but I'm also working on a rocket car. And his eyes lit up, and he said, well, my friend and I just built a little 25-pound thrust rocket motor, and we checked it out with a movie camera and a bathroom scale.
Okay.
And it did put out 25 pounds of push.
Wow.
And he was telling me about the fuel, which was 90% hydrogen peroxide. And it's only used a single fuel. It was completely throttleable, which is what we wanted. We could drive the car up to the starting line and stage it with the rocket motor. And then we were off and gone. But we didn't have a big enough fuel capacity in the car, and we'd run out at about 700 feet or so. And we'd coast through it, it's a little over 200 miles an hour, and running in the low sixes.
Wow.
Elapsed time.
Last 300
so
feet
we
with
put
no
a
juice.
bigger tank in it.
Yeah.
And that still wasn't enough. We ran out at 1,000 feet and coasted through at 265.
Oh, man.
And had achieved about 280.
Wow.
And then coasted down. So we never made a run all the way through the quarter mile. It would have been well over 300.
So I saw video footage of the X1, or a photo of the X1.
Mm-hmm.
It appeared to be a highly modified tubular chassis, but nowhere near the 38 feet in length the Blue Flame grew to. When you designed that, literally from nothing, did you end up making the body longer at any point? Did you add capacity for the fuel to get a full quarter mile? What was the next progression?
Well, the X1 had a vertical fuel tank behind the driver.
Okay.
And we were limited in the height of the tank. So we only could add about 3 gallons to the fuel.
Gotcha.
So we went from running 7 gallons in a run to 10 gallons in a run and still ran out too soon.
Wow.
So at that point, I realized that when we set the world record in 1968, we did the first 2 runs under 6 second elapsed time in Oklahoma City, and we went 263 and 265.
Yep.
And those were the world records. We bettered the top fuel record by about 20%.
Wow. In the X1?
In the X1.
Holy cow.
Coasting through.
Yeah, because you didn't have enough to go the distance. Yeah.
And then because of the notoriety that we got with the with the X1, we started to attract a lot of attention because we were setting records everywhere we went. And by 1968, one of my partners had convinced people in the natural gas industry that this would be a great, this is the rocket age of the 1960s.
Yep.
And there was a lot of interest in rockets, a lot of interest in the gas industry to get their image younger. So here we were, young people doing exotic things, and they decided that maybe this would be a good way for the gas industry to upgrade their image by going with rockets and young people, and we were handling liquefied natural gas, which was the fuel for the Blue Flame.
Gotcha.
And we used hydrogen peroxide as an oxidizer.
Aha.
So it was a bipropellant engine, whereas the drag racing engine was a monopropellant.
Gotcha.
Single fuel.
Yep.
And
so in '68, Kenny comes around. You said, hey, come on over. You used to drag race. Kenny told me before the show he just got back from Vietnam, and he said, I need you in the shop.
Yep.
What were you working on when he showed up?
Well, we were just putting the shop together.
Okay.
So Kenny was ideal. I knew him from the past, and we let him put together all the machinery that we had bought. We bought used machinery because we didn't have a budget for new stuff. And Kenny put the shop together and hooked up all the airlines and the compressors and set up the milling machine and lathes and the bandsaw and all of those things. So he got us ready to go so that in the start of 1969, we could start construction on the Blue Flame. And I was working on design and running the company. I was the manager of vehicle engineering on the project, and I traveled down to Illinois Institute of Technology, and I worked with 9 graduate engineers on the design of various parts of the Blue Flame.
It's amazing to know that as a kid, I remember seeing this car. I don't know if it was on ABC, Wild World of Sports, or what have you. I had no idea you were here, a Milwaukee area guy, building this in the shop. Kenny, did you have to build the shop twice as deep? Was it already 38 feet and then some? I mean, did you what are you talking about? What kind of car are you bringing me? I got to make sure that we're ready to go.
No, the shop was plenty big.
All right.
That's one reason we picked it out. And then we started building it. We actually we built it starting upside down. And that we put the longerons in and started doing it that way, put the skin on it,
How do you talk Krager wheels and Goodyear tire into making a tire that can go 622 miles an hour?
Well,
how long did that take?
We actually were supposed to get smaller diameter tires. And when we signed the letter of intent with the gas industry, it was contingent on Goodyear getting us the tires.
Okay.
Well, after we'd signed all of this, we found out it was going to be 3 years before the tires were ready.
Yep.
That threw everything out of the realm of possibility. So we ended up using a modified version of the same front tires that Craig Breedlove had set the 600-mile-an-hour record with.
Gotcha.
Same molds, but the inside construction was totally different.
Okay.
They
thank goodness that was there.
it.
Yeah.
And the tires were spun test to 860.
And your goal was to go 700 miles an hour.
We designed the car for 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when we set the record, we were running about 2/5 of the power that the engine was capable of. That's the power that we had to go 660 at burnout speed. That's when it ran out of fuel, and then it coasted down, and we set our speed to try and peak right in the middle of the time traps. And unfortunately, the kilos, which is 0.6 of a mile approximately, was measured on one end.
Oh,
it
okay.
wasn't centered
It didn't
in
match the center.
course.
Yep, gotcha.
So we had to offset the starting point of the car so that we reached the peak in the middle of the kilo.
Yep.
And we went 629 and 631 in opposite directions within 1 hour.
So that's the overall average then was 630.
Yep, 630.38.
It's amazing.
388.
You had 1 hour to pack the chutes and refuel the car.
Everything. We had to put 2,000 pounds of propellant in the car.
Yeah.
Replace the parachutes, check the wheel bearings for heat, many different things. Kenny was the head of the refueling group.
So everything's precision. I was learning as we were about to do this interview that the actual dry weight of the car is 4,000 pounds.
No.
When it has the fuel load at 6,500, is that right?
No, it's 6,500 empty.
Empty. All right.
6,500 empty. Put in 2,000 pounds of propellant in the driver, so it was just under 9,000 pounds ready to run.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
And we used up that fuel. The 2,000 pounds of fuel was used up in 20 seconds.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So when it comes to on paper and designing this with the Illinois Institute of Technology,
yep.
When you finally convinced Gary Gablich to drive this,
oh, we didn't have to convince him. He
was probably knocking on your door, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was knocking on the door.
It began in September of 1970. You had a setback, and then you had to come back at the end of what would be the season to run the car.
Right.
And it got down to literally the last minutes. You could actually run the car to set a record on the salt flats.
We were out there for 6 weeks, and we slowly built up our speed in increments. And part of these early runs were done with just hydrogen peroxide decomposition. And then we added the LNG fuel to it. And the driver, Gary, asked us how we wanted him to drive it. And my experiences with drag racing cars was anytime we made a major improvement, we made one run that we drove into the throttle to see how the car was going to react.
Yep.
Well, that was my mistake. I made that call and told Gary to ease into the throttle. But I wasn't privy to all of the fuel system that was in the car. And we changed our procedure from when we tested it at Union Grove, tie-down tests. We just jumped on the throttle.
Yeah.
And if we'd have done that at the salt flats, we'd have been fine. But what happened was there was a micro switch on the throttle pedal that once we hit the micro switch, it opened the LNG system and added that to the engine.
Yep.
But by easing into the throttle, we got the engine full of hot hydrogen peroxide gases and hot oxygen, and it went backwards inside of a heat exchanger that warmed up the LNG from minus 257 up to 900 degrees.
Wow.
And then it turned to methane gas and was sprayed out into this hot oxygen. And then we had igniters in there too. But the hot oxygen went inside the heat exchanger and met the LNG inside of there and split this hand-built heat exchanger all over. So we lost the use of the primary fuel system at that
So
time.
the goal then was no longer 1,000 miles an hour, it was to beat Greg
Well,
Breedlove 600.
no, that was the first year.
Okay.
We were not supposed to exceed 700.
Okay.
Because Goodyear wanted to take the tires after they'd actually run under operating conditions, and they wanted to X-ray the cording inside to be sure they were withstanding it. Well, we got to 660, and that was it. But they did X-ray the tires. The right rear tire was on for every run that we made, 23-some runs.
Wow.
And at that point, they had spun test them to the 860, and they then okayed us the next year to go 860.
Gotcha.
And but the gas industry didn't sponsor it. They were done with the project.
So when the American Gas Association pulled out, so did the funding. At the end of this magical run, October 23rd, 1970, it literally was raining while we were making the second run. It snowed that night, so you pretty much the season was over. You could not race on anything but dry salt.
There was snow in the car and the trailer, and it was all done.
Yep, that's.
And that's the last time the car ran?
We made 2 runs on the 23rd of October, 1970. One was, we did one warm-up run because it was 15 degrees on the salt flats overnight.
15, yeah.
15.
Yeah.
It was 25 when we got there with the car. The engine wouldn't perform. We'd waste fuel warming the engine up.
Yep.
So we did a test pass, just ran a little fuel through it, coasted to the other end, turned the car around, refueled it, and then fired it back the other way.
Wow.
And that was the first run. And we went 6:17 in the mile and 6:29 in the kilo. We turned it around, and 46 minutes later, we fired back through because in order to set the record, they had to have 2 runs in opposite direction through the same timing trap, and it had to be less than 60 minutes from the time that we hit the first timing light going one direction until we passed back through that light in the return run. That had to be less than 60 minutes.
Unreal.
Yeah, we did it in 46 minutes.
That was 55 years ago.
Yeah.
That car is in a museum in Germany.
Yes.
Right.
And you guys are here to tell us these stories. I can't say how much a pleasure it's been. Thanks to Doug saying, you got to get Pete on the show. The absolute answer is yes. We're so glad to have you on the show. What have you done racing-wise since 1970, Pete and Kenny?
Well, my kids got up to the point of riding motocross.
All right.
So they earlier in the late 70s and into the 1980s, we raced motocross. And after that, I located where the X1 was. It was sitting on top of a building in southwestern Michigan at a salvage yard.
Wow.
And because of the shape of it, they used that to draw people off the road.
Sure.
And it sat outside for 25 to 30 years. And we learned about it, and I was so excited because my wife had looked for the car for our 25th anniversary present.
Wow.
And was told that it had been cut up and garbaged.
You found it.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was an exciting thing to find out. So immediately my wife and I drove to Michigan. We had to make sure that it was the correct car, and it was. It was sitting on top of a semi-trailer.
Wow.
And I took a ladder and went up, and I knew right away from looking at it that it was the right thing.
Wow.
We had sold it to a snowmobile company in Minnesota. They had taken the 4 wheels off of it, put 4 skis on it, set a world snowmobile record with it on Lake Champlain in New York.
Wow.
Well, that's the way it looked.
So where's the car
but
now?
All of this special equipment was still on the car. You know, the parachute canisters, the suspension components, the steering, all of that was still there. So
It's
we
in his
loaded
barn.
it up on a trailer.
You've got it in the barn.
And took it home. And that was after we covered all the openings and sprayed the whole thing with hornet spray because there were nests all over inside of it. Yeah, so that was an adventure.
Wow.
But we got it home, and now it's 80% restored.
Wow.
Externally, it's complete, painted and lettered, new canopy, and we had to replace the bottom quarter of the car because it had filled up with rain and snow. And, and rotted away the tubing insides. So we made a fixture and stabilized it all and cut all the bottom of the chassis off. Kenny helped do that, and several people that are here.
Who is all here with you guys tonight? The gentleman who brought the model, I know he was the only one I would trust taking the cover off.
Yep, that's
your son-in-law.
I had he's the keeper of the model. He's
awesome.
Careful with it.
Yeah.
And I had 120 of these models made, and I bought 30 of them to give to the crew and the people that helped us with the design.
Yep.
And the other 20 were sold worldwide, and they were gone in a month and a half.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
So,
Kenny, where's the shop these days? Is it still a race shop?
No, it's behind his house.
All right.
Yeah. The X1 is in the race trailer.
Yeah.
How about the race shop where you built that? Is that the same shop?
No, that's gone.
Okay.
That's the car is sitting in Sessheim, Germany.
Right, but the shop you built it in, is that still a shop?
Well, it's still there, but it's
Okay.
not.
All
There's
right.
nothing to do with racing.
All right. Crazy good stuff. I can't thank you enough for spending time with us. Kenny, thank you for coming down.
Sure.
Pete, it's a pleasure talking to you, and I hope you learned something because I could sit here all night and do this, but I know it's an amazing journey, and we're so glad you helped share with us here on the show.
Well, it's a pleasure to talk to people that understand about it.
Oh, I love the idea that this is a treasure. I mentioned that word one more tonight, but think about it. That ingenuity and that ability put to test, that record held for decades.
Yeah. Our kilo record lasted for 27 years.
Wow.
Mile record for 13.
Because I started out in modifieds, helping them guys, and late models like that, and I'd help go racing with Pete every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then when we were all done with the project, I tell you what, I learned a lifelong lesson. I learned so much about racing, how to set stuff up over and above modifieds and stock cars and all that stuff.
Thinking beyond, got a dream.
Yeah.
And proof in the pudding. You can set world records if you get it right.
Sure.
How about a big hand for Pete Farnsworth and Kenny McCarthy for joining us, guys. Thanks so much for telling the story of the Blue Flame. What a great adventure we just went on.
Here, Jim, thank you.
Thank you very much, Kenny. What a great story. These guys are Wisconsin proud, no question. We have more on this program. We're hanging out at Polly's. We have Gage Kubitz waiting with us, and thanks for hanging out with us, Gabe. He brought his Bandoleur car with us. He's got some more racing to do this summer. And Bill Helland's on the way with a special in the Groove Report, so stick around for that. It's brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
It's the granddaddy of short track racing in the Midwest. The 56th running of the Oktoberfest race weekend. October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Don't miss the intense competition as drivers throughout the nation converge at La Crosse Speedway for 4 days of great stock car racing. On Thursday, see 6 divisions compete, including super late models, sportsmen, and double features for the La Crosse late model. Friday, 3 divisions will grind it out, including the super late models in the popular Dick Trickle 99, a 99-lap race run in 3 33-lap segments. Then on Saturday, 3 divisions, including the ASA Midwest Tour late model. Then it's the Big 8 late models battling for their season championship. Sunday we'll see the vintage race cars, late models, plus the granddaddy of all Midwest racing events, the Oktoberfest 200. 200 grueling laps of strategy, maneuvers, and hard-charging racing. Witness challengers and champions from across the nation battle side by side in Wisconsin's oldest and most prestigious short track racing event. Save with a multi-day wristband. It's the 56th annual Oktoberfest race weekend. October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Visit OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com for details and advance tickets. Be there.
For your next Purger project, Go with the pros. Source Services. Champion driver and Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Famer Dan Source founded Source Services in 1988 with one truck, one employee, and a tireless work ethic. Through the dedicated work of Dan and his employees, Source Services LLC is Southeastern Wisconsin's leading waste container rental company. Dropped and picked up by professionals, you can rent a dumpster for up to 60 days. Source Services sorts and recycles to reduce the amount of waste going into landfills. Go with the pros at sourceservices.com.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Interstate Batteries. Outrageously dependable. Life is full of questions. Is the presentation ready for work tomorrow? Why is there so much traffic at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday? Are your in-laws visiting this weekend or next? You've got plenty of things to worry about. Whether your car will start shouldn't be one of them. With an outrageously dependable battery under your hood, you can cross one of those questions off your list, which gives you time to answer more things like,
are we there yet?
Interstate Batteries, delivering the most trustworthy source of power to the world since 1952.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
And welcome back to a very special edition of the Racing Roundup Show. We're going into overtime for good reason. We got some more great things to share with you. I want to tell you real quick that next week, Tuesday, we'll be on the road for Benson Valley Bourbon Roadshow. Our final one of the year will be at the Oak Creek Automotive Night at the Cellar, 812 West Oakwood Road in Oak Creek. You can find that address on our website schedule page. The website is racingroundupshow.com. And in 2 weeks' time, we're back here at Paulie's for our final race of the year. And I had a great idea from Scott Krieger, of all people. Why not, Scott? He and his brother Dave said, let's wear some retro T-shirts on that last night, September 30th. So whatever racing shirt you got, the oldest one your wife won't let you wear anymore, we want to see that on you on September 30th here at the show. So bring out your old T-shirts. Racing shirts are welcome of any kind, especially the old ones, the classic ones. Come on out and join us on September 30th for a big send-off for our 41st season of the show. Hey, we'd like to thank Auto Trans Design, Source Services, NNS Towing, Jiffy Lube, Adams Towing, Olson's Outdoor Power, Danny Lynch's, and LD's Barbecue, some of the great sponsors that have made this 41st season possible. Please support these businesses and tell them you heard about them on the Racing Roundup Show. This portion of our show is brought to you by the experts at Schlafer Auto Body and Sales in Landon. They get it all done right. They work with all insurance companies. 4 generations of racers can do it for you. Search Schlafer Auto Body in Landon online, or better yet, go on Facebook and see some of their award-winning classic car restorations. We now have a gentleman who's been patiently waiting to hang out with us because he has brought his race car, he brought his family, and no doubt we're bringing him some good luck for the rest of this season. Let's welcome in Gage Kubitz. Gage, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. When it comes to racing, you said, there's a lot going on. I said, yes, and I want to talk to you because I want to highlight the fact that you and your family have been racing for how long now?
A while. It started with like my grandpa, and then it went to my dad, and then to like me.
Yeah? How long have you been racing?
Since 2018, so like 7 years.
Started out in kitty cat snowmobiles.
Yeah.
How much fun was that?
That was fun. I won a championship, I think. Then I went to 120, I won a championship, and then 206.
And what got you on the summer schedule then? What'd you race first, on pavement or dirt?
I went to go-karts at MRM, and I won a championship there my second year, I think.
Cool. So as you progressed through all of these, did your family have influence in where you raced, or do you say, I want to try this now or this next?
Well, my first year at Jefferson, I mostly started at Jefferson, and then my second year we started traveling to like Dells, Golden Sands, State Park, Toma. Then this year we've like only missed 2 races out of the whole year.
Wow, that's a lot of races.
Yeah.
I counted 19 of them.
Yeah.
Were they when you went that heavy of a schedule, is it always in Bandoleros, or do you drive something else as well?
Always in a Bandolero.
Okay. Did you buy a car new or used?
Used.
All right. Is it the same car you have now?
Yeah.
All right. It's in good shape?
Yeah.
You guys do a lot of maintenance on it, I'm sure.
Yeah, like how much wrecks I've gotten this year.
Yeah. A lot of tracks, sometimes there are 2 or 3 races on a given weekend.
Yeah.
How do you manage that?
Well, my dad drives me everywhere from Toma to Dells to Slinger.
And when it comes to racing, we talked to the Johnson brothers who have got a lot of racing. They have the ability to have 2 or 3 cars in their family racing. It's you guys learning as you go. You got top 5 finishes. You've got top 10 finishes, a bunch of them. 17 of the races you finished top 10 out of the 19 you've run this year. Consistency's there. But how do you stay fast? I asked them the same question. How do you stay fast, Gage, when it comes to knowing you're against guys and gals that are in the same boat you are, racing 19, 20 races a year all across Wisconsin?
I have all my friends helping me, like the Johnsons, Thompsons, Oldenhoffs, Wankhoffs, and Billings.
That's the names that are all on the points, right with you, right there in the middle of all of that.
Yeah.
Now there's track points, right? They keep track of points at each racetrack?
Yeah.
And then the Great Northern Legends Series kind of has its own, right? Or not?
Oh, I have Mighty Bando Series.
Okay. Mighty Bando Series. So in terms of that, when something goes sideways, I'm glad you mentioned the names you mentioned. That's got to be like all hands on deck, right? Like if they had an issue, you're over there helping them.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. When it comes to bandola racing, what do you enjoy about it at these big stock car tracks and not so big stock car tracks?
I like mostly my friends there.
Yep.
And racing with them and winning.
All right. What are your tracks that you do well at or like the most?
I mostly like Jefferson, Toma, and Golden Sands.
So Jefferson was the track you started at. You still like it?
Yeah.
All right. Golden Sands a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah. It's like a 1/3 mile, I think.
Yep. All right. When it comes to racing next, where are you headed to, Gage?
It's either a hobby stock or a legend.
All right. Good choices.
Yeah.
They have both of those classes around Wisconsin a bunch.
Yeah.
Any more races yet this year?
I have Toma this weekend, and then the Wisconsin State Championship at Jefferson next weekend.
All right. We got it figured out. When it comes to racing, who all goes with you?
Oh, my dad, and then my mom and my sister come to watch.
All right. Who works on it?
My dad and me.
All right. He doesn't probably let anybody else touch the thing, right? It's just you and him working on it.
Yeah.
That's got to be special, too. How about sponsorships on that beautiful 126 you got sitting outside?
I have G&G Lawn Services, Ziggy Snow Landscaping, Hammerhead Construction, Sparks & Sons Trucking, A&Z Plaster and Drywall, Schitzel Heating and Cooling, Thrill McCoy's, Gabby's Photography, Finger Gun Design, Premier Lawn Care, Jim Gree Rentals, Dad's Archery, and Southern Creations.
Awesome. Well, where you go next, you could say I was on the Racing Roundup show and I won my first race because I was on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe. You don't have to give us all the credit. You should get all the credit. How about a big hand for Gage Kubitz and his family putting together this effort tonight, bringing a bunch of them down to the show. We wish you the best in the rest of the season, Gage.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the program. Make sure you sign our Bob Trado signing rider backdrop. Right now it's time to go in the groove with Bill Holland. He has gotten a lot of work done this weekend, Friday and Sunday. Highlights of some big races across the Badger State. Right now on In the Groove with Bill Holland, brought to us by Johnson & Sons Paving. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Bill Holland in the Groove at Dells Raceway Park. We're here for the 60th running of the annual National Short Track Championship. This event originated in 1966 at historic Rockford Speedway. This is the second year the race has been held here at DRP. Things get underway on Friday night where the Central Wisconsin Racing Association will crown a champion.
Puma's Corey Jankowski comes in leading the CWRA point standings. In qualifying, it's third-generation driver Tyler Sauter setting fast time. We'll run twin 30-lap features with Joe Noodleman in the 4 and Colton Morgan's 39 up front in the first. Coming to green and Paul Payne's 27 going up in smoke. The Mound, Minnesota veteran straight into the wall, along with defending CWRA champ Mark Mackesy in the 12 car. Back to Green Flag Racing, and Colton Morgan's running up front in his first CWRA start. But Tyler Sauter is on a charge, and he makes the pass for the lead. It's Sauter, fastest in time trials and first to the checkers in our first CWRA feature.
The history of the Short Track Nationals is huge. Best drivers in the country race in Rockford, and it's pretty awesome that they brought it up here.
In the Sixer Nation Street Stocks, Gracie Flanagan's had a big year in the 73. She's chasing Mike Storkson out front in the 57 car. The DRP track announcer,
better known as Spike, leading the field, and he's taking the 57 to the checkers. Spike Storkson winning the Sixer Nation feature.
Hats off to my fellow drivers. To Gracie, she was putting so much pressure on me. Keep an eye out for her. She's going to do some special things in her race car, Gracie Flanagan. And, everybody races so hard and with so much respect. God, I love our Sixers here. They're amazing.
The four-cylinder Bandit feature will come right down to the wire. Jim Rohde in the 12 leading Parker Wankman's 21 car. Rohde out of Montello, Wankman from Sun Prairie. Both feature winners this season. At the line, it's Rohde taking the checkers.
It's big because I've been fighting all year to win a feature, and this would be the second one. And there's a lot of good competition here, so you got to be on your game and constantly work out bugs.
In the hobby stocks, Tony Ciano in the 86 and Andy Moore in the 19 bring the field to green. They'll go for 30 laps. It's Ciano, Moore on the high side, and Jason Stark in the 85 coming into the mix. Stark out of Sparta's driven just about everything here at DRP, and the 85 goes around in a big cloud of smoke on the backstretch. Andy Moore takes the blame. He goes to the back. After the restart, Ciano leads. Stark hanging in on the high side. And going into the corner, contact, big crash. This will take a while to clean up. Back to green, and it's fast qualifier Avery Linerud in the 52, trying to hold off Waylon Robinson in the 133. At the finish, it's Linerud taking the win.
I just got done. I won the Jefferson Championship here a couple weeks ago. We came up here first time this season, had no expectations, just coming up here to have fun. I don't know. I don't even think it's set in yet.
Our second CWRA feature has Tyler Sauter in the 7, leading four-time series champion Jeff Weinfurter in the 3. This pair finished 1-2 in the first 30-lapper, and that's how it'll end up in feature number 2. Tyler Sauter with a clean sweep on the night, winning the National Short Track Championship for CWRA.
I think every racer dreams about, everybody wants the bullet and everybody wants that Eagle trophy. It's definitely the coolest trophy I've ever got. And
with a pair of top 5 finishes, Corey Jankowski's the 2025 CWRA season champion.
The biggest thing, as long as you're top 5, no matter where you go, you're going to win. And that's always been my case. And this year, I think the lowest I was is 6, I think, Bill. So, it right there is a prime example.
On Sunday, two-time Rockford Speedway National Short Track champion Casey Johnson's looking to win a 3rd at DRP.
I always ran that race. The first 100 I would just sit there and take my licks, and then the second 100 I'd give them back out and go win the race. So here, it's totally different. You want to get to the front early, keep tires under you, get track position, and then try to take care of it that way.
Other past champions include Max Taylor, who won at Rockford when he was only 17 years old.
When you're running at Rockford, it's a lot of just attrition, It's just stay out of trouble. There's a lot that happens there, and a lot that could happen here as well. And obviously, you still have to keep your nose clean, but really, just try and make it to the front and hold on.
Big Ben's Ryan Farrell won the first National Short Track Championship held here last fall.
You look at the list of winners in that race, Bickle, Martin, on down the line. Al Schill, I heard a story about him leading every single lap there, as opposed to me only leading 140 out of 150.
This year's National Short Track Championship is also part of the Alive for 5 Super Late Model Series. Two-time defending series champ Gabe Summers looking to win both.
It's always been a thing at Rockford, so it's cool they carried the tradition on here to the Dells, and they're keeping it going. So hopefully we can get a win. That'd be cool.
NASCAR truck racer Luke Fenhouse also owns 2 Alive for 5 titles, but never the National Short Track Championship.
I haven't won it, so hopefully we're in victory lane tonight. That's the end goal, and it'd be pretty cool to have that wreath around my neck and have a trophy for my guys.
In qualifying, Alive for 5 point leader Casey Johnson's fastest on the stopwatch. We'll run a pair of super late model heats, with Slinger's Nick Egan winning the first and Burlington driver James Story in victory lane after the second. Our first feature race of the day, the 602 Outlaw Late Models. Brad Worthen in the 22 on the pole, with Nick Schneider in the 26 on the high side. The Outlaws going for 40 laps. Worthen battling with point leader Bobby Wilberg in the 28. There's contact between the front runners. and Charlie Bates is airborne. Amazingly, everyone keeps going, but the caution is out with Bates, Wilberg, and Worthen going to the back. Back to green with Adam Hansen in the 2 and Ethan Rose in the 48 up front. And trouble behind the leaders. Mason Hellenbrand in the 67 getting the worst of things in this one. It comes down to a 2-car battle. Adam Hansen has never won a 602 late model feature. Ethan Rose can get to the leader, but so far hasn't been able to get by the 2. Coming to the checkers, it's Adam Hansen, the West Salem driver, taking the 602 Outlaw feature on National Short Track Championship weekend.
This is awesome. I guess my number one takeaway is, if you stay after it and you stay persistent, even the small teams can make it. It's just my dad and I, in my 2-car detached garages. That's our shop.
In the Legends, 14-year-old Ayrton Brockhouse in the 12 is one of the winningest Legend drivers around. But the Shakopee, Minnesota driver's in a real battle with Andrew Borntrager in the 15. Lincoln Kane runs third in the 5-car. Borntrager, out of Elroy, has raced sportsman cars and pro late models here. He has a lot of laps at DRP. But Brockhouse is first in the checkers, winning the DRP Legend Season Championship as well as the National Short Track Championship feature.
Fun racing against all those guys and everyone out there on the racetrack. It's been a blast, and just trying to make it even more fun and see if we can go win the national championship that's next.
Randy Sargent in the 11 and John DeAngelis Jr. in the 7 bring the super late models to green, and the Hugh Deary Badger State Classic 100 is underway. Sargent out of South Beloit, a former weekly racer at Rockford, out front early, with Ty Fredrickson up to second in the 36 car. Behind the leaders, Gabe Summers in the 15, in a side-by-side battle for third with John DeAngelis. And new leader, Ty Fredrickson, making the pass on Randy Sargent for the top spot. The 16-year-old out of Webster, Minnesota, won the Trickle 99 Alive for 5 race here back in June. And we're under caution. Heat race winner James Story has gone around. Back to green with Fredrickson leading Sargent, Summers, Luke Fenhouse, Casey Johnson, Alex Hartwig in the 901, Max Kaler, Jordan Thiel in the 2, the 38 of Jordan DeVoy, and Ryan Farrell's 80. Ty Fredrickson pulling away from the field. Summers now up to second, with 2-time national short track champion Casey Johnson in third. Lap after lap, these 3 will set the pace. And coming to the checkers, it's Ty Fredrickson, the 16-year-old, winning the Hugh Deary Classic and the 60th Annual National Short Track Championship.
I knew in warm-up laps the top was going to roll pretty decent for me. Just got track position, worked around the lanes a little bit, saw it was the fastest and best with the car, and just the 3 and 4 in the top and bottom in 1 and 2 worked really well for me, and that showed. I think we won by like 4 more seconds, so really dominant win, and glad to get a national short track championship.
To win this race at age 16, that's remarkable. And Ty Fredrickson didn't just win. The 36 car was dominant throughout the 100-lap Hugh Deary Classic. I'm Bill Holland. Thanks for watching, and thanks to everyone who makes our program possible, including our sponsor, Johnson & Sons Paving. We'll see you next time we go in the groove on the Racing Roundup Show.
That was good stuff, Bill. That was a lot of racing at Dells Raceway Park this
There
past
was
weekend.
an awful lot going on.
And I dare say there is no show like our show. That tonight is a prime example of how much we love our racing, but how much different racing we got to cover, how many different divisions we get to cover, and I'm glad you're part of it, Bill.
Absolutely. I love the opportunity. Thank you.
When it comes to racing, there's a few more races left this year. Oktoberfest was mentioned one time tonight by a guest. I'll be there at Oktoberfest. It's going to be a race in lacrosse. There's also following after that, so there's racing on in October. Our show only goes through September 30th, so good luck figuring out what you're going to do the next couple of weeks, because we only got a couple of weeks to get more great shows like that in there, Bill.
We'll figure something out.
How about a big hand for Bill Holland, everybody. What a great job. And thanks to our friends at Johnson & Sons Paving. Now they're bringing the boys, the trophies, and the sponsorship to our show. We appreciate what they've done, and they're going racing perhaps in Virginia, perhaps in Jefferson. We'll figure it out. We got a lot to cover. Next Tuesday, we're at Oak Creek Automotive Night at the Cellar at Oak Creek. We want to thank every one of our guests. How about just a special treat? Pete Farnsworth and Kenny McCarthy with the Blue Flame. Come on, how cool is that? Thanks, guys. We also want to thank our friends at Zizzo Racing, TJ Zizzo and his dad, Tony, Yes, we're individually highlighting now. Gage Krubitz, what a great job you did tonight, Gage. Thanks for coming on the show and bringing the race car down as well. We had a lot of fun. We're back here next week. Thank you, Ralph Hibbard, and we'll see you Sunday, if schedule permits. We'll see you Sunday at the Hell's Corners Reunion in New Berlin, 179th and Beloit Road. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. is when the show goes. For a bunch of racers, bring your race car down and have some fun. Until next Tuesday, I'd like to remind you, set your DVRs, support your local racing, and have at it, racers. Thanks for a great show.
We hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Remember to tell your friends and watch our 30-minute TV show on Milwaukee's CW18 this Saturday morning at 11:30. Like our show on Facebook, follow and interact with us on X and Instagram at Racing Roundup. Join the racing crowd at our live show and win prizes. For our latest show schedule and to watch all of our shows on demand, visit our website, RacingRoundupShow.com. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, on behalf of our entire crew, this is Dean Strom reminding you to support your local racetracks, set your DVRs, have at it, racers.